Well, good
Okay.
afternoon. Welcome to another Costa Women Hangout. I'm looking a little dishevelled. It's not that I haven't brushed my hair, it's because it's so hot here. I've had the car windows open, and I didn't realise until I just got on camera now how rather disorganised I look. But not to worry, we're not here to look at me. We are here for another Costa Women member to tell us a little bit about herself and what she's up to here in Spain. And the lady in question is Susan Weeding. Good afternoon, Susan.
Good afternoon, Fiona.
So you are, I believe, up in Alicante, is that right?
Yes, we are. We're actually in Rojales, which is about 20 minutes from the Altet airport, further down the
Okay.
332.
Okie doke. And there's a Costa Women group up there. I didn't think to check. Is it Costa Women Alicante? I don't know.
In all honesty, I really can't answer your question, but I'm sure there probably is, because Corin, Peter lady, she's actually also a member of this group, and she is based in Alicante. So I guess she must have heard about you guys quite locally.
Right, okie doke. So it's a sort of very networky situation then.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now you are involved with a creature who I absolutely love them. I lived with some for quite a while, and that's horses. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Tell me a little bit about what you do up there near Alicante.
Okay. Well, we started the Easy Horse Care Rescue Centre Foundation roughly 8 years ago. We actually moved over to Spain 15 years ago, and we actually moved to where the rescue centre is. We bought an old dilapidated finca. Same story that you've probably heard hundreds of times from many Brits: relocating, bought the finca, sold everything up in the UK, moved over with a couple of dogs and a cat, and we thought, okay, this is it, now we're going to retire. Very quickly, I realised that I was going to get bored not doing anything, so I opened up a tack shop for horses, because I was aware, probably 6 weeks after moving over here, I actually rescued 2 horses that had been abandoned in another finca further up near the Marmanor, and I realised rapidly in those days it wasn't possible to buy any equipment for horses, saddles, etc., etc. So them and everything.
I know that's difficult. Isn't that weird though? You find in a country that has a lot of horses, especially Andalusia down here, but it's very difficult to get horsey supplies. Why is that?
Yes, it is. Well, obviously they do have their own style of riding, but again, the few shops years ago that were about had a very, very small selection. And to be honest, things that I wanted, I wanted English equipment that I was used to using. So anyway, I opened up the English tack shop, which done very well, and I was increasingly hearing of horse abuse from various people that were coming to the shop from quite a wide area. The alarm bells were going off, and I was getting more and more agitated by the stories that I was hearing, and the fact that most people were saying, well, it's nothing we can do, the police aren't interested, blah, blah, blah. And one day we had to go and deliver some rubber matting to a yard, probably about 30 minutes away from the rescue centre. And in this yard, they were all English ladies, and they had the horses very well cared for. I went in to have a look. It was like an indoor stable block. And at the very, very end, there was this horse flinging himself against the bars. His eye was rotten. There were maggots in the eye. It was in the summer. The flies were driving him crazy. And this horse was just absolutely wild, throwing himself against the bars. I just stood there horrified. And obviously I said, why, how, what on earth has happened to this horse? And why is he like this? Why is he here? And basically had been abandoned by his owner a year or so prior to that. The owner didn't come anymore. Apparently, nobody was sure how he got his eye injury, but they thought he'd cut his eye on some metal that was in the stable. But even the other eye, half the eyelid was cut off.
Oh,
Nobody had treated it. The eye had obviously got infected, and the whole thing was just rotting in its socket. I mean, it actually had maggots in it. So can you imagine this young horse just the pain, the frustration, just throwing off against the bars? And it had been decided by the guy that owned the yard that they were going to sell him for horse meat, because nobody wanted him, because they all said, well, he's a stallion, he's wild, he's uncontrollable. It's going to be easy.
Was this the start of the rescue centre?
Yes, it was. Now, this was it. Me and my husband, we looked at each other, we looked at this horse, and we both actually knew at that point that we were going to do something for this horse. And we'd sort of talked about it before, but never actually decided, yeah, we're going to do it. And we looked at each other and we knew this was it. This was the start of the rescue centre. And Jess Sarah was our very, very first rescue. That was 8 years ago. I now have 97 horses, ponies and donkeys at the rescue centre, which is also our home.
Wow, so 97 must take a lot of looking after and need a lot of funding. Now, Corinne didn't tell me what's going on at the moment, but I understand you've got some sort of fundraising going on, is that right?
Yes, we have. I mean, obviously, we've always got fundraising. It actually, the bottom line is every week I need to find €4,000 just to break even, just to run the centre, the vet, the farrier, the feed, etc., etc. Now, obviously, anything extra, we just do not have the money for. We rescued a horse that we named Oscar from the gypsies in Torrevieja, probably about 6-7 months ago now. We were actually called out by the counsellor for animal welfare in Torrevieja, Carmen, very, very nice lady. I would also like to say there's a lot of very good things going on in our area for animal welfare, and she's one of the good guys. She got involved, called the police, we took the horse away. Well, to cut a long story short, over the years, we've actually probably had about 30 horses from the gypsies in that area where the police have seized them, or there's been lots of people going after them. We've actually had TV there, they've been in the papers. So obviously we are not very popular with the local gypsies. And I think this time they really, really felt that they were going to do something about it. They were determined that they were going to get that horse back, and it actually got quite nasty. They went up to the council, they went after Carmen, the councillor. She didn't know what to do because of a technicality. She hadn't actually got them on ill treatment. She had got them on the fact that they didn't have any paperwork, and she then had to consult a lawyer, and it was a very difficult situation because technically they could have sued her.
So there's obviously a lot that you've had to learn very quickly and issues to deal with. Do you get to rehome any of them, or do they just stay with you?
No, some of the healthy ones are with very, very good people. They remain the property of us, which they will do till the day they die, so we can check on them. But to be honest, probably 90% of our rescues have problems. They've got joint problems, disabilities, so they're not really the sort of horse that a normal person would actually want to ride out on. But going back to Oscar, because you asked me about the fundraising, it got so bad that the gypsies were actually coming up, driving past the rescue centre at night, shouting at us, causing a boost and basically threatening us. And we have a very, very old crumbling fence around the centre. It's probably about 70 odd years old. We just put electric fencing in front of it, obviously to keep the horses in. But we were getting very concerned for the safety of all the horses, because obviously they could just push it down, let the horses out. They could have got in. They could have even broken in and set the house on fire or set the stables on fire. You know, we really do not have any security. So this was what we actually set up. This is our latest fundraising that we're actually doing at the moment.
to repair or put a new fence
To
up. So
repair.
what can we
Yes.
do to help you? So do you have a website and some links or social media that we can put underneath the video so people in your area can get in touch with you?
Yes, please. If anybody that's interested in finding anything out about us, would like to sponsor, would like to donate, can come up with any ideas, if you go to our website, which is www.easyhorsecare.net, there's a fantastic website on there that actually Corin has put together for us.
Okay, so it's Corin from Costa Women. You've got in contact with Ali.
Absolutely, yes. She's a star.
Okay. Now, one thing I always ask the Costa Women ladies is, well, we know now that whereabouts you are and how long you've been here. But as somebody who only came here 15 years ago, I would imagine language has been something to learn, or did you know Spanish before you came here?
No, we really didn't have a clue. Looking back, I would actually say now we were so naive. We were very gullible, like hundreds of other Brits or European people that found the way here. Luckily, the finca that we bought was actually legal.
You're lucky.
And we were very lucky. We didn't know any Spanish. We didn't understand really anything about living in Spain. We just suddenly had this dream that we were going to live in the sun, life was going to be great, live in the finca, blah blah blah. And really, we're still here. Obviously, we can't really go anywhere now with 97 horses, ponies and donkeys. However, what I would say was to anybody thinking of relocating, be very careful who you deal with anything fiscal.
Yeah, that comes up a lot. Yeah, it's very difficult to find the right people to help you with that, though, isn't it? And you sometimes have to learn by mistake before you find the right financial or legal advice.
I mean, life is a learning curve, but I think really also ask people that have lived here for a while in the area that you're going to relocate to. Ask them who's the good guys, who's the bad guys. You know, people are actually very helpful if you ask them, and just be very attentive how you progress forward with your purchase or whatever you're going to do, and just think about it a little bit, because there's more to Spain than just the sunshine.
So I guess it must be, what, have you done lunchtime feed, or do you do?
Yes, they're fed 3 times a day, because obviously there's no grazing here. So they're actually given forage 3 times a day and another type of feed twice a day, morning and evening. And we actually start the evening feeds around about 3:30, 4 o'clock, because as you can appreciate, with 97 feed bowls.
I only had to feed 15, and I thought that was hard work. But I can't imagine
97 feed bowls, and lots of them are on different medications also.
I would imagine water as well must be, especially this time of year with the heat, you've got to keep that going as well.
Our water bills are normally around about 3,000.
How often?
Every time. It's every 2 months, I think.
Oh my goodness.
That's just the water, because obviously horses drink a lot of water. We've got all automatic drinkers out now in all the fields. My husband's got all the pipes and everything out, because obviously you can't have buckets with that many animals, so they're all on automatic drinkers. But yeah, we're looking at around about 3,000.
Wow. Well, we will be posting this video on our Costa Women Facebook and Twitter and social networks, and I'm sure lots of ladies will be interested to hear this story. Thanks for your advice for anybody thinking of moving over here, and thanks for giving us some of your valuable time to share the story, and we hope the fundraising goes well for the new fence.
Thank you very much for having me on, Fiona. All the very best.
Okay, thank you very much. Speak to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.